Tiago, tell me one hormone that's also affecting my belly that I need to pay attention, that I need to fix, that I need to balance. Which hormone is that nobody's talking about? One hormone that's affecting your belly fat that you need to prioritize, to modulate, I'm going to tell you how to do this, is your leptin hormone. The problem of you is because many of you are having leptin resistance. Tiago, it's not insulin resistance? No. Insulin resistance is another hormone that's a big problem for your belly as well. I'm not even talking about insulin yet. I'm talking about leptin resistance. Why are you having leptin resistance? Remember, write this down. The first thing that you have to write this down. Why leptin resistance is the problem for you, for your belly fat, for you to fit in your jeans. Write this down. Too much of something creates resistance. Too much, write this down. Too much of something creates resistance. So every single time that you are having more leptin inside your body, you are creating resistance. It's like your partner. Your partner, just imagine if you would never stay until here with your husband for 20 years until now, if at the beginning, when you met your husband was calling you, baby, I'm thinking about you all the time. And then another time, baby, I'm gonna sleep now, I'm gonna have a lot of dreams with you. Hey, let's hang out now. Hey, I'm thinking about you a lot. Hey, I'm having lunch here. Your voice doesn't get rid of my brain. Like your partner is like all the time close to you 24/7. What's gonna happen with you? Resistance. You don't want to stay with your partner. Same thing when I give you a cake. Only every 2 months, if you just have the condition to have a cake, like every 2 months, the cake will be delicious. But if I give you a cake every single time, all your meals, you wake up and then I say to you, eat that cake. And then after 2 hours, eat that cake. Lunchtime, cake. Afternoon, cake. Dinner, cake. Sleep, cake. Like what's gonna happen with you? I'm resistant to that cake. I don't want to eat that anymore. So that's why anything that's too much inside your body, anything in life that's too much creates resistance. Leptin is the hormone that you have. It's produced in your stomach, but also in your fat, in your white fat cells. Remember that I told you your white fat cells? The fat that you have in your belly also is extremely important to produce some crucial hormones that all of us need. One of the hormones is leptin. Leptin is the hormone that when it's released, leptin sends a signal to your hypothalamus inside your brain saying, hey, leptin called your brain saying, hey, there is too much fat here in Maria's belly. I think we have enough fat. We have a lot of storage of energy. The energy is a lot already stored. So your brain will say, okay, because of this, I will not let Maria eat more food because everything's fine. Let's speed up metabolism to start burning more calories. That's the signal. That's the importance of your leptin. Your leptin is the messenger from your belly, from your fat cells, from your white fat cells, sending the signal to your brain saying, brain, too much fat here. It's time to, it's a green light for you to speed up metabolism and keep burning more fat because we already have enough. For survival mode, we already have enough. What's the problem? This is happening in a normal body, in a regulated, modulated leptin. But many of you have that resistance. It's like every single time that you have more fat, you gain more fat, you automatically have more leptin hormones. Remember what I told you? I told you, too much leptin, too much of something will create resistance. Because you are gaining more weight, you are eating more than usual, you are eating inflammatory foods, your gut is not working properly enough, you have your hormones imbalanced, like many things happening, and then you're accumulating fat, automatically you have more leptin hormone as well. What's going to happen? Too much leptin calling your brain saying, brain, too much fat here, brain. A lot of communication, your brain will get tired of too much signals from your leptin hormone that's coming from your fat. What's going to happen? Your brain will, forget it. No, I will not listen to you anymore. What's happening? Your brain will not speed up metabolism to burn more calories. Everything that your brain is supposed to do, your brain will not do because you have a lot of leptin resistance. Tiago, what creates leptin resistance? There are many things. One of the things that create leptin resistance, first, is when you gain a lot of weight. That's the first cause of too much leptin resistance. Second is when you have insulin resistance. Remember that I told you the way that you're eating your food, that you're spiking your glucose, boom, boom, boom. By consequence, insulin is released too much. The more insulin is released from your pancreas, you are creating resistance. Automatically, sooner or later, you're going to create resistance in your leptin hormone that you find inside your white fat cells, that your white fat cells produce, and your stomach produce as well. Leptin is the hormone that sends a signal to your brain to say, brain, I'm full, don't eat anymore. It's the hormone. If you don't have leptin working like nothing, you would literally keep eating without knowing what's the limit for you. You would literally never stop eating. Once you eat, you would keep eating for 2 hours. Leptin is the hormone who tells you, stop eating. But imagine if you have leptin resistance. Even that capacity of not knowing the right time to stop eating, you don't have that regulated. And then another hormone, ghrelin. Ghrelin is the hormone that once your stomach is empty, the ghrelin will increase and send the signals to your brain, say, brain, we need food. And then your brain will give you the command to seek for food. Guys, remember, you are like a machine, always receiving commands from your hormones, from your brain, from your bacteria. You're receiving commands. So you need to decide that actually you will not accept being just like receiving that command. You need to be proactive. You need to be active in giving the right command to your body. Otherwise, your hormones will dictate if you need to eat more or less. All the feelings that you have, you're going to just accept your feelings. You're going to make a lot of mistakes because your hormones are controlling your feelings. Your hormones are controlling your actions. Your brain is dictating what you should do, what you should not do. And then you're accepting that. The worst thing that you need to do if you want to lose that belly fat is not accepting what your hormones are telling you all the time, what your brain's telling you all the time, what your feelings, what your emotions are telling you all the time. You have that ghrelin imbalanced. You are having also emotional eating. Because remember, another reason that you create leptin resistance, that the communication of your fat cells, the leptin in your fat cells, communicating with your brain is not working anymore. One of the reasons is because your hypothalamus is inflamed. One of the causes that you create leptin resistance. Because when you send a message to your brain from your leptin in your white fat cells, the message goes to which part of your brain? Your hypothalamus. But imagine your hypothalamus is inflamed. Why, Thiago, is inflamed? Because you're too much stressed. You're overthinking like crazy. You're thinking about yesterday too much. You're thinking about tomorrow too much. And then your hypothalamus is saying to you, hey, Maria, quiet. Shut up. Let me rest because I'm overactive here. And I'm releasing a lot of chemical reactions, inflaming your body because you are thinking too much. Quiet. Your hypothalamus is inflamed. Because of this, creating leptin resistance in your white fat cells. Guys, connect the dots. Connect the dots. Another thing that you can ask me, Thiago, so start telling me the solution. I need to know the solution first. First thing that you need to pay attention is what? Nowadays we know there are some strategies that modulate your leptin. Pay attention now. Pay attention now. Write this down. Otherwise you're going to keep with that belly getting bigger for the rest of your life if you don't pay attention now. Let me see who is here first. I'm going to tell you the most important part will be now. Someone asked, what is the best time frame to eat? Baby loves, I need to know your routine because if you do night shift, your routine to eat will be completely different to another person. If you work in the morning and you have rest time in the afternoon, your routine will be different of eating compared to someone who works in the afternoon and rests in the morning. Did you get that? But there are gold time during the day that you need to be aware that's gonna be easier you accumulate fat when you eat. Like where, Tiago, what time? In the evening. In the evening is a good time. Your insulin is much more sensitive. There is a paper, I published this paper, I showed in the group, showing the paper that people who ate earlier in the evening, they had a bigger lunch and smaller dinner, even having breakfast, having a bigger meal in lunch, but reducing their dinner, they lost more weight. Because the time, remember, your circadian rhythm is crucial for you to modulate. Your hormones, they work differently depending on the time of the day. Your cortisol melatonin in the morning, cortisol melatonin in the evening. You need to pay attention to the details. I'm gonna talk about this a little bit more later, but pay attention now. Solution for you to start modulate your leptin hormone, crucial for you to lose that belly fat. Otherwise you don't lose it. What is that? First thing, nowadays you know, paper published in the American Journal. They showed that once those people who are eating around 15% of their daily meals, 15% of protein, when they increase to 30% their protein take, besides improving their insulin, they optimize their metabolism, but they modulate their leptin because the expenditure of burning more calories will increase when they increase the protein take, and the leptin will be more sensitive. They become less resistant to leptin. The brain becomes less resistant to leptin and becomes more sensitive. So you don't need a bunch of leptin to work properly, to burn more calories. It's going to be regulated. Why? Because you are having more protein throughout the day. But what's the problem? You are forgetting to do something basic. I was even not, it didn't even make sense. I'm still remembering that you need to eat more protein because that's the basic of the basic of the basic. I should just tell you here something deeper, something more advanced, but you're still making simple mistakes of at least increasing that protein to modulate your leptin. Tiago, but if I eat more protein, I'm gonna modulate my hormones? You have no idea. Remember this. Pay attention, write this down. My protein take will be crucial to modulate my hormones. My protein take is associated in modulating my hormones as well. Every single time that I don't have enough protein throughout the day, I'm increasing the chances of creating more hormonal imbalance. Guys, this is basic. This is something that, look, my newborn will know this information when he turns 5 years old. I will teach him. This is basic. That you need to eat. It should not be like that I need to talk now. That's basic. Protein is crucial for your leptin to avoid leptin resistance. Got it? But remember, another thing crucial, big mistake that many of you make when you increase your protein. Increasing your protein at once in one single meal, you can increase more proteobacteria, bacteria that are inflammatory. This type of bacteria you also increase when you eat, for example, junk food. When you eat a burger, chips, and like ice cream, like crazy, a bunch of bad stuff, you increase the bad protein called proteobacteria. But you also increase that proteobacteria if you eat a bunch of protein, even if it's healthy, in one single meal like crazy. Why? Tiago, why is that? Because you're already over 40. Because you're already over 50. Your stomach, your pancreas, all your digestive tract is not having the same capacity to digest that amount of protein at once. Tiago, what's the solution? Divide. Throughout the day, divide. Otherwise, nowadays you know that you need to have maximum of 5% of proteobacteria inside your gut. The inflammatory bacteria. If you have more than this, you're going to have dysbiosis, you're going to have leaky gut, and then I already told you this. All the inflammation, all the cascade of inflammation that's going to happen with you. Autoimmune disease, you're going to have 1,000 problems. Because the simple strategy of dividing the protein take. Be careful with that. Not having protein that's going to take 5-6 hours to digest in the evening. How do you want to solve your problem if you're going to have like a red meat at 9 p.m., 8 p.m.? Spend more than 5 hours to digest. You're going to try to sleep, and then your small intestine will say, Maria, are you crazy? You're going to bed and you want me to keep working here? I want a break. Your small intestine say that when you eat that red meat in the evening. Pay attention, guys. And especially when you don't chew that enough. Or especially when you're not looking at the food, it's smelling to produce more hydrochloric acid inside your stomach for you to have the capacity to digest that protein. What's going to happen with you? Your body say, screw it. You are in bed. I will not digest that food. I'm going to give you bloating, low energy, headache, more stress the next day. And then you are creating that cascade. Guess what's going to happen? The consequence of everything, all that stuff that I told you? Oh, look. Boom, belly fat. Because you are creating visceral fat. Why is that? Because you have glucocorticoids receptors in your visceral fat that they are sensitive to your cortisol that you release when you are anxious or when you are stressed. And everything started because you didn't sleep well. One day, the next day you are more stressed out, you have an argument with your partner, with your boss, you are more likely to yell more with your kids. Everything because of one poor sleep, releasing more cortisol. Hypothalamus, your amygdala, pituitary gland, and adrenal gland that's above your kidneys are overactive, releasing too much adrenaline, too much cortisol. And then you are creating that cascade. And then your visceral fat around your midsection, super sensitive to cortisol and to insulin hormone. Guys, connect the dots. I'm telling you, connect the dots. Thiago, tell me another thing that I need to pay attention for me to modulate my leptin hormone. Another thing. I just said, your sleep. Nowadays, you know that the time that you are sleeping, you are modulating your hormones. One of them is your leptin. Pay attention to how you are sleeping. Thiago, I go to bed, I struggle to sleep. I spend 1 hour, 2 hours to really sleep. Your issue is because you're not releasing enough what? Melatonin hormone and GABA, the neurotransmitter GABA. You need to, after like 2, 3 p.m., start already stimulating your body to start producing more GABA and melatonin. Once you go to bed, you can fall asleep quickly. Thiago, my problem is not that. My problem actually is because throughout the night, I wake up and then I struggle to go back and sleep again. What's your problem? Your problem is different. You even don't know what's the difference of your sleep quality, the solution. Your problem is different. When you wake up in the middle of the night, you struggle to go back to sleep, your problem is what? Cortisol is high at the wrong time. Your cortisol is supposed to be high when you wake up. 8 a.m. is the peak. You are alertness. Cortisol is crucial to give you energy, even for you to exercise. You crush the day. Your cortisol is high in the middle of the night. That's the first sign that your hormones are imbalanced. What you should do? Modulate that cortisol and your melatonin. I have a video training, a specific video training teaching how to modulate your cortisol and your melatonin inside my program. I have a video training teaching a protocol. It's a treatment, step by step. You need to do it step by step. Did you guys get that? Understood? Leptin is the hormone that's crucial for your belly fat. Yeah, guys, pay attention to how you are living and talking to people and ruminating your thoughts throughout the day, eating your food, the time of the day. There are many things affecting your belly fat. You have no idea. Thoughts on intermittent fasting, increasing cortisol? Remember, intermittent fasting will just increase your cortisol levels if you do that wrong. Intermittent fasting is amazing. It's one of the ways for you to stay in a caloric deficit. But many of you are doing that completely wrong. You're doing intermittent fasting, for example, you spend usually 8-9 hours without eating when you sleep. And then you wake up, and then all of a sudden you say, I'm going to start doing 16-hour fasting. And then after one day, you already start doing 16-hour fasting. Big mistake. Your body is not adapted to that. You need to do it slowly. Why is a big mistake, Thiago? Because anything that you do, something brutal to your body, you are more likely to be more stressed out. You're not giving food to your body is not adapted. For example, you are supposed to give food to your body to eat something at 10 a.m. And then the next day you decide, okay, I'm gonna just fast. I'm gonna skip my whole breakfast. I'm gonna just go to lunch. Like something brutal, something that your body's not adapt to it. What's gonna happen with you? Your body say, whoa, whoa. Where is the glucose here? What's the easy energy that you gave to me, Maria, at 10 a.m.? You're not giving to me? I'm gonna give you more stress. What's gonna happen? Your cortisol will be more, you're gonna release more cortisol unnecessarily just because you did intermittent fasting the wrong way. Guys, remember, intermittent fasting, it means what? It should not be every single day. Otherwise, you're doing wrong. That's the first mistake that many people make. In my program, we teach the right way to do intermittent fasting. That's another thing. It's another protocol that's crucial. And the intermittent fasting should fit your schedule. Example, if I love my breakfast, I need to keep having breakfast during some days of the week as well. I don't want to stop having breakfast because I love breakfast. You need to do something that's realistic to your schedule. It should be realistic. You need to enjoy what you're doing. How are you going to enjoy if you're having more stress because you're doing intermittent fasting wrong? How are you going to enjoy if you're still having cravings, bunch of cravings? You're going to keep increasing belly fat a lot, okay? And, intermittent fasting is good when you don't want, for example, to keep counting on calories. You need to stay in caloric deficit. I told you already, that's the foundation for you to lose belly fat, but without missing essential nutrients. Yeah, there are many things that I have a lot of stuff inside my program teaching about the nutrients for you to modulate your hormones, for you to strengthen your gut microbiome, for you to reduce inflammation, many stuff. It's another, I had to spend 10 hours here. What else? Wonderful, yes. Wonderful is your body. Wonderful is your body. Your body is amazing. You have no idea. The day that you guys understand deeply about how your body works, you cry. You cry how your body is trying to work in synchronicity. Having like that synchronicity, everything working, trying to get to homeostasis. You would cry and you would love your body like crazy. You would think 3 times when you eat something. You would think 3 times when you had an argument. You would think like that. It doesn't worth it. I will damage my amazing, incredible body if I have this argument. It doesn't worth it to have that argument with my boss or with my partner or with my family. You would think 3 times with many stuff. The desire to check the news, you would think 3 times. Because you know exactly what's happening inside your brain, inside your cells, inside your bacteria, in your mitochondria. You would love yourself like crazy. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, because you have no idea how much I love body, human body. It's amazing. You love yourself like crazy. I'm the peak of loving myself. Peak. I never had a time of my life that I loved myself the most. Why is that, Thiago? Because I'm constantly studying about human body, and then I'm accumulating knowledge, wisdom about human body. Boom. Guess what's happening? You hit a peak of joy about yourself. It happens with you if you give that importance, if you really put your intentions to focus on yourself this year. Someone said something important. Does inflammation cause constipation? Of course. You can have chronic constipation, allergic constipation, because it's creating food allergy. Any food allergy that you are eating is creating that chronic constipation, because it's an allergy. And this is increasing constantly the inflammation. Remember, guys, every single time that you accumulate feces inside your large intestine, you are accumulating excess of even hormones that are unnecessary that you need to get rid of it. One of them, for example, estrogen. You can create estrogen dominance because you instead of getting rid of it, because you need to go to the toilet every single day, 1 to 3 times a day, you're not going to the toilet. You're accumulating unnecessary hormones. You're accumulating more bacteria, more viruses. Remember, you have more viruses. Check this out. You have more viruses than bacteria. You have more bacteria than human cells. All those microorganisms, when they have excess, you need to get rid of it every single day. You have constipation, you accumulate. Guess what's going to happen? Inflammatory response. And then you create the cascade of inflammation. That was a good question. See you all. Let's go.